Now, to all the reboot cartoons, only one kind of stand out in my head who needs a reboot. More like kind of like DuckTales reboot sort of scenarios, because let's face it, all the other cartoons, all the 80s, 90s, and maybe 70s, they have mostly a good chunk of them don't have connected story. They just sort of episodic, something like the original DuckTales. But like DuckTales, they have so much potential to connect to make a long narrative story. And there are only a few of them I can think of or necessary to be rebooted that way is actually Johnny Bravo. Johnny Bravo is one of those cartoons you would think, oh no, Johnny Bravo won't actually be cancelled before it gets started because it's Johnny. The opposite, actually, I give that answer because Johnny, that what we need today. Because Johnny is a type of character who shows how to act properly, even being sort of a scumbag. Of course, some of you sort of confused what is Johnny, who is he, and why he is, in my opinion, very important to should come back as a reboot. Now, to understand Johnny, Johnny is sort of a Elvis voice that he's so good looking Jack, but sort of foolish, don't understand the female life. That he wants just basically had a date and kiss the girl. But the only problem is he doesn't know what to talk to the girl. He's just so out there. He tries so hard to impress women. In fact, he became sort of a repellent for women because every time he nears, calls, or talks to someone, he pepper spray, gets shot, get beaten up, or attacked by wild animals because he is almost unlikable, but only to the women he talks to the viewers, it's hilarious because let's face it, Johnny is not a terrible person, but how he acts to other women is sort of give you a lesson to not to be him. Even that is more ironic. The biggest fan base of Johnny, you think will be guys, but no, are women. Women are the one who want this the most because how to best describe it? Every woman knows a guy like Johnny, someone who is so confident, overdoing it, over trying so hard, but yet he never really is a scumbag. He is, you could say, between kind of naive and a gentleman, but yet he sort of maybe pushes his luck because he doesn't know what no means, but more like verbally in that sense. Even that the guy in the series shows he is a gentleman. If he goes a blind date, it is sort of an animal. I mean, a real animal, because in the series, he accidentally dates a deer. He just went for it, like, all right, let's do this. Or he accidentally dated a half werewolf, half human. The most of the date had to be a night. He would just, all right, let's do it. Like, he never questioned it because he just feels this is the right thing to do. And that says a lot about Johnny. Of course, I have that question, what you could do with Johnny of this time period. Of course, before I breaking down and reason why I want Johnny back, my name is Recho. I like to talk about animation, not just animation. I like to talk about reviews, first impressions, cartoon theories, and sometimes, if I have some spare time, cartoon breaking news. Of course, you like how it's going, you like to help my channel, put like, comment, and subscribe. That's the only thing you need to do. If not, that's fine. But you do, thank you. Because of you, I am getting close to my main goal of 2,000 subscribers. Because people put like, comment, and share. Because of you, I am getting close. And thank you. I am completely grateful because of that. Now let's get started that why that Johnny needs a reboot of today Marvel era. Now let's get started with the video. Now to explain more what is Johnny, because Johnny is sort of a kind of very usual cartoon, and the reason why we kind of need him back is basically Johnny who just want to date a girl, and that's it. But the only problem is he's sort of bad at it. It's almost hilarious, but I think there's a reason why he's so kind of daring because he will never give up. How many failure after failure after failure that he almost got a kiss, even that he probably would not remember it. And that type of guy, he has that luck, but he never really put him down. In fact, one of his most interesting backstories, the reason why he acts that way is because a girl he was crushing back in high school told them, yeah, she prefer beefy men, more confident men. And that sort of mold him to become the Johnny you see today in the regular show he actually been. And that is just sort of fascinating because the guy just wants someone to date with, even that he's sort of a woman repellent. But I think that's what makes it so interesting. It's the fact it's not just the dating scenes, it's the people and friends he meet along the way. I mean, his stories are just so over the place. It's almost kind of crazy because sometimes he just looking for a girl and dating her and things sort of happen that he doesn't have control. Other times he goes like weird sci-fi adventures because he saw a space princess like I want to ask her out, and he became sort of the hero of his own story, but he's not realized he's the hero. He's just like, bro, I'm here because of the girl. I mean, I'm gonna have no idea what's going on, but I like how it's going on. But the type of guy who just rolls with it, even that's sort of confusing. Other times he has to team up with his animal talking sidekick that he doesn't have no idea what he talks and the reason why he's hanging out to him. Or other times he's a survivor of a small island, a bunch of aliens or monsters. It just goes weird, but usually he just oppress a sort of a type of girl, and that's it. But if you reboot that simple idea of modern times, can you make it work? I want to say yes, because the whole point of Johnny is never giving up to ask a girl out. Even that understanding he may be way too confident or maybe way too forward, maybe make sort of sense, or really point out the situation of cancel culture that he is what you think he is, but he never pushes the line. He always is that like, yeah, I'm not interested. He walks away, but he's just a woman repellent. People actually hunt him down and hurt him. In fact, there are points in the series, a group of women hurt him. A group of women does this for fun, hunting down Johnny because he didn't do anything wrong. Just maybe he pushed his luck a little bit too much, but never like a pervert or someone that is just super questionable. He just one shot, all right, let's go. Or at least try to impress him without actually being impressed by the other woman. It's how Johnny works. But with the reboot, you actually can explore why women want to hunt him down, even that we see that he did nothing wrong. He just asked a girl out. You actually can explore the reason why they want to hurt him and question the ladies was sort of reasonable, what they did was actually right. Not make it political, just sort of explore maybe he did something wrong or maybe they over exaggerate. There is potential here to explore so much about society and how society views Johnny nowadays. But it's something that feels is on the line that can you experiment on that? In a way, yes, especially the dating scene that you can see him dating a crazy girl that Johnny tried to make it work, or even that maybe dating another supernatural creature he makes proper reason to date, but she never fall in love with him. Once more, it's all about the dumb luck of Johnny. Or even better, explore the dating of Johnny. That he did the right steps, even that the girl was sort of special, but the girl still rejected. Even he did a very romantic gesture, even go the extra miles to feel her comfortable. Even that they did the same thing in the original show as jokes, but they actually can actually work more like a kind of mature, more focused dating romantic comedy sort of situation to you nitpick and break down the things John did. Once more, there lost potential on this table. And I think that make him so relatable, especially to women, because women are really adhere this. The reason I'm saying this, when they pitched this to Cartoon Network, and Cartoon Network kind of doesn't own Johnny Bravo, but just to let you know, but when the creator pitched this, the executives didn't want it. It will be a bad influence for little boys or also little girls. But the ironic part is the executives who wanted Johnny back wasn't actually guys, they were women. Women who adore Johnny. They heard the pitch and they loved it. And they fought for him to put in Cartoon Network. And that says a lot how much endearment Johnny really has of his own creations, because some woman knows about Johnny. Like, people adore him. In fact, my sister even says something so interesting. The reason why she likes Johnny is the fact it proves to her a pretty boy can feel like a pretty girl, like always, but never giving up. That's why she adores Johnny. Even that he's not a fully scumbag, his best way to describe him, he is sort of like Kessel from that 70s show. He is sort of a pretty boy who is kind of naive, and that's it, because he's not super aware of the situation. He's sort of kind of like a man child, but not a awful man child. Even that kind of doesn't make sense, but hoping that makes sense. But also, it's sort of the weirdness they go into it. Like, he goes to his diner in the person who owns the diner called Pops, who given advice, but you can use that in sort of interesting ways if they decide to do sort of reboot. Like, some dating advice from some specific women, business advice, or life in general, but sort of give him quotes that sound so stupid, but you sort of can explore this sort of specific episode that reflect what he says that kind of makes sense. That's sort of the potential of rebooting a series, because the original Pops give him advice, but sort of outrageous nonsense. They can reinvent that to make it more interesting to Johnny, to make the story more interesting if they chose to go that direction. Before I forget, you also have Carl, the sort of frenemy or best friend of Johnny. Even Johnny won't admit he's his best friend. And this is what I mean. He has a very interesting side characters who complement Johnny that not fully explore. Like, can you explore Carl with Johnny? In a way, yes. Something like both of them living together in the same house for, I don't know, maybe Johnny's mom passed away and now Johnny needs a roommate to actually help out the payments. And that could be a very interesting explanation, because Johnny does like Carl, but Johnny doesn't know how to be his friend. He's always a Cinderella. They find it be interesting how Carl actually loves Johnny. They never fully explore or explains why Carl hangs out with Johnny in the series. And to me, that'd be a very good explanation, good understanding the relation, why it kind of works. And that could be a very interesting exploration of romance, in other words. But once more, it could be a lot of reasons. Like, let's face it, maybe Carl was sort of protected by Johnny back in high school, or Johnny doesn't know how to talk to maybe normal guys, so he think to be mean to someone that made it kind of sense to him, and that's how Carl understands him. Once more, different ways to explore it, different ways to execute it. I don't know. It's one of those potentials not yet fully explored in the series. Also explore the other character who appears constantly is Little Susie. Now, who is Little Susie? It's a little girl who is sort of a Girl Scout who have kind of a small little crush of Johnny, but Johnny treat her like a little girl. In fact, he treat her like a little sister in most, because he is kind of endearing to her, but yet never talks down to her. Just like, go away, little kid, I'm busy, I'm just chilling, leave me alone. But Susie always kind of nags him, but Johnny never really out there. If you try and figure out what to do with this kid, should I move her? Should I push her away? Call her mom? Does little weird things, tries to push her away, but somehow little Susie just likes him and just want to hang out with them, even though he is a grown ass adult acting as a child. But what's more, there is a lot of exploration here. Like, for example, to easily tweak it up to make it interesting, is that why not make Susie an older woman, but Johnny only sees a little girl that he never asks for a date, because you just see her like little Susie. And older Susie wanted to date him, but he always rejected, because Johnny is how he acts. That's who he is. He doesn't like to take advantage, even that he doesn't say it. It's all about his own actions. I think this is the reason why people adore Johnny because anything a date with a woman, even that she's not human, flawed, or something wrong with them, he never really judge. More shocking to understand the situation. He just okay, I guess we could go with it. I mean, nothing wrong with it, right? Right? And that's the endearment of Johnny. And that's what I mean. That's why I feel it's just so interesting to put him very interesting scenarios. Of course, I'm kind of wish if they decide to reboot this, they added new characters, some kind of colored, or these two Pacific characters I sort of want, like Velma from Scooby Doo and Samurai Jack from Samurai Jack. In other words, like because their fan base have sort of shipping potential of these characters, they can easily bring them, or at least like a family member who looks like them, or related to him, or at least someone like them but a little bit different to make the sort of cast more colorful because let's face it, the whole cast is pretty wide. Like they have a fan base pretty wide of different colors, and they do like to be represented, but do not basically kind of whitewash or blackwash or Asian wash. Just create new characters or reimagine characters people like to see in a show because of Johnny. Because Johnny has a very interesting kind of point of view. Because the whole show can go very sci-fi, very horror, very Looney Tunes. It could go any direction, and you believe because Johnny is the type of character just roll with it, and then you just adhere him because of that. Of course, I do want to know white women hub and down, and this is probably the good idea to maybe reboot this type of series. What I mean is kind of reboot that type of series is you could find what people attempted to cancel Johnny or hurt Johnny because of his own actions, even that he doesn't really does anything specifically wrong. He pushes his luck sometimes, but he always with boundaries. And that is just a very interesting subject matter nowadays, how guys who are trying to go to the gym and help a woman just to put the weights on just because they're struggling because they just see it while asking a date, and just the woman calls it out as a pervert or something like that, even that he's tempted to help. To me, Johnny makes sense. He put in that scenario that sort of explore him because they find out he doesn't really care or what he there's just for the help. It really shows how people are defensive of sort of scenarios. Something like Johnny reappears because you were basically stereotype Johnny because it's Johnny. And the fact you saying that's too woke, you have to make no, that's how the show was. That's why I always sort of a meme about Johnny. Johnny was a work before work was actually a thing. But the reason why it worked so well to Johnny is because Johnny never points it out. He just throws it out as a normal thing, like being hunted a bunch of women who want to hurt him because they think he's a scumbag. But once again, he's never really a scumbag. He never give you a reason to hate Johnny because the very end, he's not a awful person. He's good with kids, good with people. He's just not good with women for some apparent reason. But yet, this way you endear him, even that you go any direction. Or a dating scene, you could put a different direction, or even a love interest who is a next door neighbor that is completely different, like Velma, who is a crush of Johnny, but again, Johnny doesn't have a crush on her, or vice versa. Both hate each other, but they sort of grew up with a sort of kind of emotion sticking to them. They have feeling with them, but it's that Johnny kind of type of girl he looks for, and how the other girl who not look at a guy she looks for. And that could be a very interesting sort of take of Johnny Bravo. Because let's face it, Johnny always been a romantic rom-com, and that's always will be sort of a rom-com with supernatural, sci-fi, or adventurous or cartoony type of logic. Because with Johnny, you could go any direction. I think the other reason why Johnny is so interesting is the fact have that sort of 1960s or 1970s sort of vibe, and they keep that while changing that much. They can actually make it even work better. But also, all the dialogue and clever dating scenes they can actually focus. Of course, this is part of the most interesting thing of all. Can you make Johnny actually interesting. And I think so, because you can easily focus on the scene that the girl told him she prefers buff guys with a lot of uh confidence, and you let him question that if all the season maybe he's doing the right thing or doesn't understand who he is anymore, and explore that. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do, like let him be here with his frenemy, living with them, get into a vice with Pops in a diner who give him wrong advice, and you keep listening to him. He doesn't realize maybe I should not listen to him, or have the next door neighbor who's crushing on him, or another version of Jack who we don't know if I didn't explain it later on. Jack is sort of weirdly shipping with Johnny. This is why every time you see the art top with Johnny and Samurai Jack is because the shipping aspect of it. They just want them to be together. Yeah, I'm okay with that if it is sort of like a some kind of deal, or who knows, maybe explore on that. Depends how you feel this actually could work or not work. But to be fair, it kind of won't work because how the world of Johnny is built. Where things happen, you just need to sort of roll with it. And that's basically it. Now, my conclusion from Johnny, the reason why I want her reboot is sort of the untapped potential of Johnny. Because Johnny is everything and sometimes nothing. Because the main point of Johnny is the dating scene. And you feel that sort of untapped potential of relationships, understanding to connect people, understand his friends and family, who attempt to help him to find the girl he wants and look for, and understand the other half even better, even not tempted to be rude. It's just full potential with a likable, naive type of character like Johnny that he proves he should fight for love and always trying to find that love. And that is very interesting because you can see the original series. At least watch the first two seasons, season 2, season 3, season 1, and season 4. You don't need to watch that because the first, second, and third season is probably the tip of the hype of Johnny. The rest of the season wasn't as strong, but you get it. Yeah, watch all 4 seasons. You could tell me, yeah, this still have more to say, even more nowadays to reflect the situation of the dating scene that you don't know who you gotta date. Could date a crazy person, not a crazy person, someone so opposite of you. It can make interesting sort of relationships with Johnny to see how he deal with it, how he understands himself, and that just full of potential, or just screw it, make it super weird over the top because it's Johnny. God's sakes, he was attacked by giant ants out of nowhere because the salesman sell him sort of kind of like perfume, and now everybody attempted to attack him. What's more, it's sort of like a regular show, but back in the day in the 60s, 70s, in a way. And that stuff has so much potential to see what happens next. Of course, I got really nothing else to say. It's the fact if you like to see Johnny back as a reboot, but of course more adult reboot, just to make that clear. But other than that, I really got nothing else to say. Just thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful day. Bye.